How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth here. First of all, I hope you guys read that title in Jerry Seinfeld voice, because that's what I was going for. But anyway, so we've been getting some Persona 5 spin-offs, and getting spin-offs of Persona has been a kind of a common thing in these last, this last decade per se. We got Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Persona 4 Dancing, Persona Q, Persona Q2 now, Persona 3 and Persona 5 dancing games, Persona 5 Scramble to look forward to. It's been crazy. So I think one that I think is on a lot of people's minds that's strangely missing so far is Persona 5 Arena, or a Persona 5 fighting game. I don't know if it'd still be called Arena. I feel like they'd still go with that. I feel like that's kind of a general tagline to go with that. So I think for this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about why it may not have been announced yet, the hints towards it actually being a thing, possibly maybe not being a thing, and maybe when we could be seeing a glimpse of it. Though that last part is more of my educated guess or even hunch than, I guess, with actual facts. Just giving you a heads up right now. So now, as to why we haven't seen it yet. All right, I think I got a couple reasons, or potential reasons. So I guess the first and probably biggest one is we got to look at the company that's making, that makes the fighting games, and that is Arc System Works. Now, when Persona 4 Arena was first a thing, and even when Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, they were way less busy, at least to my knowledge. Basically, all they were really doing at the time was BlazBlue games, which is, it's not nothing. BlazBlue is awesome. It's a pretty good fighting game franchise that looks really beautiful even to this day. But yeah, let's look at what they're doing today. Well, first of all, we also have to remember that this is before even Guilty Gear made a comeback. Guilty Gear X Third wasn't even a thing when these Persona 4 fighting games came out. But then you also got, they got Team Red, working on the Guilty Gear games. And then Team Red is also, of course, making a little game, they made a little game called Dragon Ball FighterZ that is still being supported to this day. And now Team Red's working on a new Guilty Gear game, and also that Grand Blue Fantasy game as well. Oh, and the Kill la Kill IF game. Now, granted, that is Team Red, and there's still Team Blue. Team Blue, they've been mostly working on BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I think some BlazBlue mobile game or something as well. But yeah, so they've been very busy between the two teams. And so that's already one big thing. That's probably the biggest reason I'm going to say. I think another possible reason is probably due to Atlus not wanting it to, I guess, butt heads with Persona 5 Royal, because I think now I know there are two completely different genres. I think there's probably going to be a lot of Persona fans that might not be that interested in Persona 5 Arena because they don't care for fighting games. So there is that, but I can just tell by how they've kind of pushed Persona 5 Scramble to the side that they kind of don't want it to. They don't want them to conflict at all, basically. Especially because we're not getting news on Persona 5 Scramble until I think it's maybe 6 days or so before Persona 5 Royal comes out, at least in Japan. So yeah, they definitely wanted to wait till that was out of the way, I think. That was kind of the big thing. So they probably wanted to butt heads with that. They also might, along with the side with Royal, they might not want it to, because Persona 5 Royal is we know that it's adding a new character, Kasumi, and so maybe other new things as well that maybe they want to be able to kind of replicate in the fighting game. And they're maybe afraid of if they release the fighting game, before or too close to Royal, that whatever new stuff, new characters, content, etc., will either be missed or spoiled for people that just kind of got Persona 5 Arena, maybe even Persona 5 Scramble. Maybe that's why it's kind of taken a while. Either it'll be either lost or kind of spoiled on them for whatever new stuff they're bringing over from Persona 5 Royal. So there's that. I think they're all possible reasons. Another possible reason is maybe they just didn't want to, because Arena was the first spin-off last time. And maybe they wanted to kind of go the opposite direction. Because this time we got I think we got the dancing game first. Then we got Q, I think. Then we're getting the Dynasty Warriors game. And then I guess maybe we'd be getting the fighting game. So I guess maybe they wanted to try a different order first. They didn't want to be as predictable with the order, I mean, that's a more minor reason, just throwing things out there. But yeah, I think the three main reasons are the company they would want to make it is just incredibly busy. So it's just, I'm sure it's a priority, but they've still got other stuff they're working on. Probably maybe I'm hoping this is a reason they don't want They want to be able to put in Persona 5 Royal content without like spoiling or ruining for anyone else, and actually be able to have it there for a while, like put in the game. Because it's like, think of like the Dragon Ball games, like Xenoverse 2. They would put in like characters that just appeared in Dragon Ball Super, maybe even the movie, but like because they did it so early, their movesets, they don't fully reflect what they what they did in the show or movie. While with Dragon Ball FighterZ, they've kind of waited a little bit, and I feel like they kind of they got a better full, I guess, list of all the moves the character can do. So maybe something like that for the Persona 5 characters. And then, of course, I just think possibly maybe they just wanted to try something different and go the opposite order. Do dancing game, Q, some other game, and then the fighting game. It's a possibility. So that's why I think we haven't heard anything yet. So now I'm going to talk about what hints as to why it probably is happening. One of the first things that the two, I think, probably things that kind of started was there was, I think, a Persona 5 like buyers, but it's a Persona 5 buyer survey, just I guess seeing what people thought of the game, what they want to kind of see in the future. And there's one interesting question. It's question 24. It says, which genres do you want the Persona series to explore in the future? 7 possible choices consisting of RPG, rhythm game, fighting game, simulation, action game, shooting game, other. I also wonder if action game is considered like Dynasty Warriors game, so you even got that as well. So there's that. So like it was clearly on their mind. I don't know how well it did. I feel like Persona 4 Arena was probably the most well received of the spin-offs, unless maybe we're counting Persona 4 Golden, but I don't really count that. That's more like an expansion or a kind of a enhanced port or whatever. I feel like it was the most successful because I think Q, at least the first Q, was very like divisive. I think Persona Q2 is way better. The dancing game I think was very divisive, and I guess people kind of felt it was unnecessary. I personally wasn't really into it that much. Granted, I'm not into those kind of games. Even though if I was to play a rhythm game, I'd rather be Persona stuff than just whatever else. But I think this was at least showing it's on their minds. Then another bit of news that maybe confirmed this was there was some. This was back in. Okay. Wow, this was back in 2017, possibly at least. There were some trademarks. There were some domain names I think registered for Persona 5. There was P5D, P5U, P5AG, P5R. So I think we can pretty much say that P5D was Persona 5 Dancing. We can pretty much say P5R is Persona 5 Royal. P5U and P5AG are the weird ones because none of them are P5S. Weirdly enough. The funny thing is, I think P5U or P5AG could be a fighting game. Because U could mean a name like Ultimax or something. Or like Ultimate Arena, Persona 5 Ultimate, I don't know, something like that. And then P5AG, well, you got the A for Arena, I just don't know what the hell the G means. You got me there. So either of them could be, again, I don't know which one of those was Persona 5 Scramble. That's really weird. Like I said, I find it really hard to believe that if neither of those two other ones are a fighting game. I think maybe, I'm guessing probably maybe they're kind of, this was back in 2017, maybe they're kind of playing around with titles then, and they weren't really sure what, title to go with. Maybe they were considering calling it something different than Arena. Maybe they're considering calling Persona 5 Scramble something different, because that is usually they're called Persona 5 Warriors, so it was a weird choice. But I really find it hard to believe that one of them would be a fighting game, and I don't think it would be the Persona 3 dancing game because it would say P3, and I don't think it would be I don't think it would be Persona Q2 because I think it would say PQ, not P5 or anything like that. So there's that. Then there are some rumors going around. I know, rumors, they don't always mean anything. There's one, let's look at some of them. Let's look at a couple of them. This one I'm not really sure how legit it is, but let's just look at it. Unconfirmed leak has sprung up on the Japanese text board 5 channel and contains a whole bunch of new information about potential Persona 5 titles in the works. Posting reads as follows. So one of them says, alright, so this is about Joker. This is something about Joker in Smash Brothers. Joker, stages Mementos, Jack Frost appears on screen with a skill, marketing of P5R, complete version, and P5U fighting game. P5R is 2019. P5U is delayed because ARC is busy with the development of Grand Blue fighting game. So let's look at that. This was, I think, from... I'm pretty sure I remember hearing this, and this was before. Oh, wait, okay, December 15th, 2018. Okay. All right, so at this point, Joker was already confirmed for Smash Brothers, so, they could just be guessing. They were right about the stage being mementos. They were not right about Jack Frost appears on screen with a skill. Maybe in early development they were going to do Jack Frost. I mean, Morgana appears in some of Joker's taunts. But marketing of P5R, the complete version of P5U fighting game. Okay, so it does mention P5R. And like they did start marketing it around that time. we don't really know if Persona 5 Royal is the complete edition or what the hell it is still, really, as weird as that sounds. So I don't really know if that's right. I mean, I guess that's kind of, it sort of is. And interesting, it says P5U, which is one of the trademarks, and that's the fighting game. So that is very interesting. I mean, the guy could have just taken, could have just guessed and be like, oh, well, one of these is the fighting game, and he chose P5U. P5R is 2019. Not wrong. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, not everyone is getting it in 2019, but it is first coming out in 2019. Then P5U is delayed because ARC is busy with the development of Grand Blue Fighting Game. Now that, I mean, obviously we don't know for sure yet, but that is basically what I just speculated, what I think is part of the reason they're just busy with other things. And I guess the Grand Blue Fighting Game was just a little more of a priority. This was actually, I'm reading this, with the reveal of ARC's Grand Blue Fantasy Fighting Game today. The hold on Persona 5 fighting game could make sense. So they just announced that around the same time. And that's not really an easy thing to guess, I think. So I think that does hold some weight. Obviously, some of them could have just been lucky guesses. I think a lot of us kind of thought if Joker's stage would have been Mementos, because it's just, it's a good kind of neutral area for the game that kind of takes place throughout the game. Isn't just one area. It also is a really cool looking too. But still, it's something. It's something to definitely consider. I'm guessing maybe the Jack Frost thing was just an early development thing. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's another one. This one's way more recent. This is, alright, so it has marketing company associated with Atlas has registered several Persona-related domains. Alright, Persona 5R, okay, Royal. P5S, Scramble. P5S, one is just P5S, and then one is Persona 5S. That's weird. Persona 5M, P5M, P5B, and Persona 5B. So, I don't know. That one's weird. That one is definitely weird. I don't know what the hell those could be. Yeah, those throw me for a little bit of a loop. I don't really know what the M or... Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is that does mention P5S. I mean, like I said, they could be changing the name of the fighting game, but I feel like P5U is a little more of a realistic name for I think the fighting game, but I don't know. So there is that one. One of those could be the fighting game. I just don't know which one of those, P5M, P5... Oh, okay, they're probably just two different... Okay, so then P5B and P5M. I don't know what the hell. Persona 5 Melee? Persona 5 Battle. Oh, there we go. Okay, boom. Okay, so yeah, any of them could be the fighting game. I just think the other kind of set of trademarks kind of stood out a bit more to be one of the fighting games. Alright, so here's another interesting rumor. Alright, this was on Event Hubs, and generally that usually has fairly legit fighting game information most of the time. Okay, so it's a rumor that Persona 5 Arena, currently in development under Small Team and Arxes, will reportedly run on Dragon Ball FighterZ engine. Ooh. Sounds sexy. Possible information. Okay, so... Alright, so possibly this website called Gear Nuke have acquired information about Toon Games development. Persona 5 Arena, or whatever the title ends up being called, so they're not even sure. It is currently in development over at Arxes 3, though it may only be worked on by a small team right now. Most of the company's resources are split between Dragon Ball FighterZ, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, and more importantly, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. This allegedly report largely matches up with the previous rumor that claimed P5 Arena was in development, but essentially put the back burner while Arxes focused on stuff off and Grand Blue Fantasies spinoff before the game was officially announced, considering that the long-awaited Persona Fighter will be next in line to receive support. Supposedly, Persona 5 Arena will be ditching the sprite-based 2D graphics of the last two entries according to the report, and instead run an altered version of Dragon Ball FighterZ modified Unreal 4 engine, which has already been tuned for the Nintendo Switch on top of the other consoles. Okay. Gear Nuke also claims that Royal will be enhanced re-release of the original game on PlayStation 4 featuring wealth of new content and a female protagonist, which... kinda right. P5S, on the other hand, is a alleged Nintendo Switch port of the original title will be missing the Royal's enhancements, but have exclusive content for Nintendo. This may sound odd. Ooh, you had me there. You had me till that point. Yeah. I don't know. That was looking really good. Then, this could be a case where they got some stuff right, but then some stuff wrong. Because as we know, P5S was not a Switch port. It is on the Nintendo Switch, so I guess they're technically right. But yeah, and that the mentioning BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, that's another reason why I kind of think it is coming. Even though they are busy with that, we have to look at how many characters have come out over the span since Cross Tag Battle came out, and then like there was that kind of other that big chunk of DLC, then they kind of stopped for a long time. Yeah, like because I think all the characters came out like over the summer. Cross Tag came out. This was like this was like mid 2018, and I think by like maybe September we got everybody. Then there was kind of like a long few months break, and all we got was like I think 3 or 4 more characters, 3 more. It was like Teddy, Seth, and I think Naoto, the other Naoto. And like they're all characters that, you know, I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't take work, but you know, it shouldn't take as much work as like some of the Ruby characters and all that, because they're not built from the ground up. You know, they're mostly just taken from other games. So, you know, like there was that kind of drip, and then you know, almost a year later, we're getting these other characters in Blaze. That's that's a long time, and like there's only 2 of them that are built from the ground up. Actually, really only 1, which is Neo. And then I guess you could argue Blitztank, because I mean the game he's in is pretty old, and I think that his sprite had to be refreshed a lot. But I think his moveset is basically just taken, and his animations are basically just taken from Akatsuki Blitzcomp. So really, that's like only 1.5 brand new character out of all those, and over that huge like kind of wait time. And I know they're also working on the additional story mode scenario too. So that kind of leads me to believe that they are putting effort into something else, because they weren't being as quick with those characters as they were with the characters that came out initially after Cross Tag Battle. And that also, speaking of Dragon Ball FighterZ, brings up another point. The Season 2 characters of Dragon Ball FighterZ have been taking way longer than like the Season 1 characters were. We were getting them like every other month, and there was like 2 together. This is like, I feel like a few months in between, at least, and it's only like 1. Now, granted, that could also be the Grand Blue fighting game, so there is that. And I guess that also leads me to believe what team I thought would be working on Persona 5 Arena. Now, while I personally would prefer it be Team Red, because I would love to see Persona 5 fighting game in those graphics, that would be like, mwah. I actually kind of thought it would be more, and also I was going to say, and I also feel like they put a little bit more, like I would say Dragon Ball FighterZ at least has a little bit more content than BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle does. I feel like the Persona 5 Arena game will get a lot more content if it was Team Red than Team Blue. I actually kind of thought it would be Team Blue, because Team Red is now doing DLC for Dragon Ball FighterZ. They got the Grand Blue Fantasy game, and then they got the new Guilty Gear game coming out. So they really got their hands full, while Team Blue really isn't doing that much aside from Cross Tag Battle and I guess that BlazBlue mobile game, and they've been really slow with the DLC characters lately. And I'm not totally complaining, because I'm really excited for like the next batch, namely 4 or 5 characters if you've seen my new reaction video. But no, I feel like it gives me the feeling that they have something else going on. So that's why I kind of thought maybe it was Team Blue that was going to work on it. Maybe the plan was going to be Team Red, but then like, you know what, there's just not enough, there's not enough time, too much going on. Let's just let Team Blue do it. After all, they did do Persona fighting games in the past before. So that's a possibility. I would prefer Team Red, but I personally think it's going to be Team Blue. And because this rumor, while it had got some things right, also got some things wrong. So maybe they're right that there is one being worked on, but it might not. But Team Red, work on it might be one of the wrong things they got, like the P5S being a Switch port. So yeah, that's some reasons why I think it definitely is happening. I was going to say, it just seems like common sense. Like it's literally every other spinoff of that's happened with Persona 4. It's happened with Persona 5, so it's like you would just kind of think there's fighting game coming. The only argument I would say that isn't against it is Persona 5 Scramble. It is weird that it's getting this first and not a fighting game. I was thinking maybe Persona 5 Scramble is a replacement for the fighting game, but I don't know if I buy that, especially because I think a fighting game would be a little more well received. Nothing against the Dynasty Wars games. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Scramble. But I just think, I think fighting games are a little more well-received. I know Dynasty Wars games are very divisive. I mean, hell, look at Persona 5 Scramble's reveal. I mean, granted, I know that was more so divisive because of, I guess, the misleading of a Switch port, but even still. But I don't think that as much. I'm just saying, if we're going to play devil's advocate, I think that might be the only thing suggesting maybe a fighting game is not happening. And, you could say, oh, well, why didn't they make a Dynasty Wars Persona 4 game? Well, because I feel like back then, Koei Tecmo was just starting to do a lot of spin-offs at the time too. Like we were just getting Hyrule Warriors around the same time Ultimax came out. But I think they become a lot more popular doing these kind of spin-offs of other games. And maybe now Atlas kind of went to them and did that. But yeah, I think the pros, the pro or the fours outweigh the against for Persona 5 Arena. So I guess lastly, like, you know, if I had to guess when we'll see like an official announcement on it, I'm gonna say, and you know, don't kill me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing. I feel like we'll see it at either the VGAs in December, only because we got Joker announced for Smash Brothers that same thing, and it was a Persona 5 related announcement. Or we'll see them like around the same time we got new, like I guess around the same time Persona 5 Royal was announced. Like not fully shown off, but just like announced, like, oh, it's coming and we're gonna have more info this date, which I think was like January. So I think late this year, early next year is when we're gonna find out. But yeah, no, I really want a Persona 5 Arena to happen. I really look forward to it. I mean, I was especially bummed because we didn't get any Persona 5 characters in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, even though I kind of think we would have just got Joker anyway, in all honesty. But I really hope it happens. I really think it's going to happen. I think it's more of a when than an if. Not only that, but I think considering my channel, I talk about fighting games, and I've been talking about Persona a lot. Two things I enjoy talking about. This is would basically be like a fusion of you know, the two things I talk about, and you know, a lot of people seem interested in my channel. So I think it'd be great for me, my enjoyment, and I think my channel as well. And I definitely plan to cover that and Persona 5 Scramble, as I mentioned in the past. So yeah, let's hope it happens. You know, let's hope it's not that far off. But you know, that's some of my theories and some of my input of why, you know, what the deal is with Persona 5 Arena, or whatever the hell it's going to be called. So like this video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. It's a free country. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, your theories, the work, you know, what's happening with the game, what team's working on, if you think it's going to happen. Don't forget to check out my friend Mark Yoon in the description below. Don't forget to check out Mr. Anderson Plays Games in the description below. Should be doing a Let's Play live stream thing this Thursday at 6 as normal, assuming everything goes to plan. And then don't forget to check out my Patreon. Again, this is just a brand new thing. I'm just trying it out. If you want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. I'm not going to be begging you for money or anything like that. So as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.